Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's going to be a match between Tyson and Rush from 2020. This is going to be posted on patreon.com/FalconPaladin on January 1st of the year 2021, and posted on the YouTube channel somewhere around February 1st of the same year. So hello to the future. Alright, so at the top side, we have the yellow Protoss player. It is Tyson. Oh, such an excellent Protoss player. He gives Bisu everything Bisu can handle in their PvP matches. And on the bottom left side, it is a purple Terran player. It is Rush. I do love that Rush always needs to remind us that he's an ASL champion. Here, because would people forget Rush? Is that what you're worried about? Maybe they would. Maybe people would be like, there's Rush. He never did anything big in his career. And he's like, no, look, I was an ASL champion. I like it. I like it very much. Anyway, hello 2021. I hope things are fine with you as you're watching this. Although people do like to go back and watch my old replays. So, I mean, hello, I guess 2022 and 2023 and 2024. And maybe people will be watching these in 2030. Who knows? If you're watching this in 2030, ping me, right? Throw down an @Falcon Paladin and be like, hey, I'm watching this in 2030, and it will give me, just give me some amusement in my old age, because my goodness, in 10 more years, I'm gonna be, woo, I just had an existential crisis right there. I'm gonna be an old person. Dang, son. Not that old. I'm not gonna be like 100 or anything. I think once you're 100, you're officially old. Anything before that, it's negotiable. Anywho, this is one base opening here from Tyson. Check this action out. Ba-bam. Cybercore coming in fast. Got that gas early, too. Going for some really solid pressure with Dragoons with range. We'll see what Rush does. He is scouting the right direction here on this 3-player map. So that's good. You'll be able to see there's not an expansion. Be able to see that the Singularity Charge is being researched. I mean, basically, yeah, like the second the Cybercore finishes, it's going to get started because he's going to have enough gas for it. And then probably a second gate would be my guess based on this build. We'll take a look at it. So SCV comes in, sees what we're seeing, and says, okay, all right, I know what this is. Immediately tosses down a factory. Does not expand. Recognizes he's going to want tanks or vultures. One of the two sooner rather than later. And check this action out. 150, go. Bam! What'd I tell you about the timing on that upgrade? Tyson's got it figured out. Figured right on out. Probe scout in the wrong direction, unfortunately, but he's going to be the aggressor. So, I mean, what you scout is not a huge deal anyway. Whatever. Marine sitting here making sure that the probe doesn't see if there's a natural base or not. Let's take a look real quick here. What does he see? Can he see far enough in to tell if there's an expansion? Is he gonna get... Oh, no, he's not even scout. What is this? Is he gonna throw down a shield battery up? Oh my gosh. Is he gonna throw down a shield battery up here? Are all the cries from my subscribers that please Protoss make shield batteries, are they being answered today? Or is this just like a second gate? A second gate would be interesting. Whoa! It's a robo! That's way more aggressive than I was expecting. So there's your bunker. What? Why? It's got to be Reavers, doesn't it? It's got to be Reavers. I'm going to set it up here, and then Reavers will be very close to come in and start attacking this bunker. But, I mean, I don't know. You're assuming the Terran player is not going to have tanks out, which I assume the Terran player is going to have a tank out by then. What an interesting build here from Tyson. Still no expansion. Vulture comes in to verify that and says, okay, there's not a second Nexus. That is really problematic for me. Dragoon sitting up here. Okay, so it's a robotics facility and a second gateway. This is where Rush is like, okay, you're missing a pylon and you're missing a second gateway or an expansion or something. There has to be a proxy somewhere, but you can't really scout for it because you have the Dragoon pressure happening. This is so good. This is so good from Tyson. This is another RJB replay, by the way. All the good ones come from him. Just please check him out. Just give him a chance out at RJB TV on YouTube. Search his name in the YouTube search bar. You'll find him. Wow. Robotics Bay coming up. This is going to be Reaver pressure, but check this action out. Siege mode is on the way. I mean, I guess maybe you suicide some of these Dragoons to make sure the tanks don't exist? I mean, this is stuff we've seen a billion times if we've seen it once. Look at the range on that unsieged tank. That's crazy talk. Wow. What is this? Okay, so just going to park the shuttle here. Maybe drop some Dragoons into the main base, harass a little bit that way. Yeah, I don't see why not. We are still not expanding, ladies and gentlemen. This is a one-baser Rooney play. SCV says, I was going to build a missile. I was trying to build a missile turret here. That's not happening. 4 Dragoons inside your base. Jump on them tanks. Get them. Get the tanks. Papa. 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 Yes. Very nicely done. Tanks down. Another tank does show up. Marines do a lot of damage to Dragoons, and Dragoons don't kill them very fast. Marines are a good answer to Dragoons for sure. So, I don't know, what? 2 tanks died. 4 Dragoons went down, which is rough stuff, but guess what? Now there's Reaver shenanigans. Special tactics on the way here from Tyson. And here goes nothing. Reaver shows up. All the Marines die! Run! Run! Missile turret taking some hits. Tank taking some hits. Shuttle taking some hits. This is... oh my gosh, this is so good. Wait, pick it up! Pick it up! He didn't pick it up! Oh no! The Reaver died! Oh, that was going so well for you, Tyson, but that you lost the Reaver? He's got another Reaver. He's expanding now. He's like, alright, well, I'm not going to win with this, it turns out. He's got the siege tanks. Like, I can... my gosh. What an SCV is going to get a kill on this Dragoon. Watch. There it is. SCV. Got a kill, and it's a Dragoon. Bet he drunkenly brags to his friends about that when he's out at the bar after battles. Dude, these SCVs are all dead. Bunker down is a problem. Get shots off. No. Reaver. Oh, gosh. 23 SCVs on the field, ladies and gentlemen. This siege... oh, the siege tank gets the Reaver again. This is so good from Rush. I mean, I know he lost his bunker. He lost a ton of SCVs. He's down to 18 now. That's horrible. But the fact that he keeps killing the Reavers is good. Because if there were 2 Reavers instead of just the 1 at a time, this would be really a big-time problem. As it stands, it is definitely a problem, but it's not as big as it otherwise could be. Marine getting some free shots on this shuttle. Rush decides he is tired of being on the defensive here today. How? Siege tank takes 40 damage there, which again, he's running away from the Reaver. So the Scarab, when it hits him, he's facing away from it, so it does less damage. It's a really weird thing, a weird mechanic for Scarabs, but it's true. Okay, has Rush actually solidified? Also, this engineering bay position is scouting for drops. This SCV, no, don't try to expand there. That seems a terrible idea. There's Protoss right outside the front door. It's a bad neighborhood. He's trying to sneak around. No, he's not. I guess that was just for scouting. Our third base would be pretty nice for the Terran, but, you know, 2 base to 2 base, the Terran's going to do just fine. The cost effectiveness of the units, especially once we start getting a bunch of tanks out, which we are doing, they just keep dying. Once there's a number of them living, it's going to be really hard for Tyson to handle. He does scout the presence of the natural base, though, so he knows that there's another base up for Tyson. This early aggression is not over, but it was not going to be a one-base play for the rest of all eternity, which is probably good. So yeah, it's trying to find an area down here to... I mean, 2 Marines is great. Two Marines is just fine. Any damage you can get with a Reaver is great damage. It's not free, because Scarabs cost, gosh dang it, 15 minerals, right? I always get Scarab cost and Interceptor cost confused, but I'm pretty sure it's 15 for the Scarab and 25 for the Interceptor. Now, oh no, now I have to look it up. apparently interceptor cost brings up other stuff. Is there like a motorcycle that's called the Interceptor? Finally killing that Zerg egg. Third base coming up at 10 minutes for the Protoss. Again, generally what you really want to do... What you want to do is out-expand, right? You want to out-expand the Terran player faster than we're seeing, but he also tried to kill the Terran player fast and couldn't pull it off. So Rush defending that was exceptionally well done, I think. I mean, okay, it wasn't perfect, because he did lose a ton of SCVs. He did lose a few tanks. He lost a bunch of Marines. Like, all these things are bad. But he's not dead. He is at 43 workers. He's on 2 bases. He's doing fine. Tyson's third base is just now warping in. See what I mean? I'm just doing good Protoss things. Getting charge for Zealots, or rather speed for Zealots. Not called charge here, but that is totally fine. Observer right on the edge of the map. Spider-Mind being researched. We've got Vulture Speed coming in here too, because what else are you going to do versus Protoss other than mech your face off? It seems like Protoss has more options here. Storm, Reavers, obviously Zealots and Dragoons are going to be the backbone of your army. Archons can certainly play a bit of a point here, but you have to be worried about perhaps Ghosts coming out of the Terran eventually, but they don't really have the barracks production to do that. It turns out. Tyson's little home away from home just outside the front door of Rush does get taken down by the siege tanks. Observer gets sniped there by the Goliaths, and they do have Charon boosters, because of course they do. Working on another robotics facility to replace the one that died, as well as the Templar Archives. Back home here. So Rush on the warpath. Very upset that he was pressured for so much time at the start of the game. Vultures are trying to delay this retreat so that the tanks and the Goliaths can catch up. It doesn't really work out for them. It was a decent attempt, I suppose. It's a free probe if you want it. Oh no, the Vultures are inside the house. Oh no, and their spider mines being laid. So the Zealots are taking hits right to their face. Yeah, the Zealots are dead, man. You could probably kill them. It actually does shove the Terran player back home while this is going on. Fair enough. I mean, that's a 4-kill. That's a 5-kill Vulture. He's dead now because he's not being microed. Vultures that are not being microed are generally dead Vultures. If you're not moving, you're dead. Kind of like sharks that way. Third base coming up just outside of the main base for Rush. It's a very traditional place to take this for the third on this spawning location. Taking this base against a Terran is just asking tanks to siege ya from the low ground, which is never good. This is high ground positioning. Vultures can't get up this very easily. Easy to wall off with those pylons. And everyone making decisions like we are expected to see them make decisions at this high level of StarCraft. I see you. There is a Stargate coming in from Tyson, probably for those Arbiters. If I had to guess, that's what we're looking at here today, is going to be Arbiters mixed into the composition. The Templar Archive seems to be for what? I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. He's not researching Storm, which would be my guess of what it's for. Oh, right. For the Arbiters. He needs that tech for the Arbiter. Okay. It's the weirdest tech requirements in the entire game for Arbiters. It's like they needed to hide the Arbiter behind a couple extra layers of tech, so they're just like, Templar Archives. Why? Arbiters are Templar, I guess, for lore purposes? Call Vultures with speed are so fast. They're the fastest. Dun 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 dun. See, that's how fast they are. Of course, not fast enough to run away from dying, as most of them did, getting a little bit too close to those Dragoons. So we're at +1 attack here for the Dragoons. And the Zealot's +1 attack is done for the mech units for Rush. And Arbiter Tribunal, done. I wish I could click and it would make the noise, because it's one of my favorite noises in StarCraft. Is that... It's like, I can't even reproduce it. It's just this crazy artificial robotic style noise that you get when you click on that Arbiter Tribunal. It is 190... Oh, actually, we just maxed out. Tyson's maxed out to Rush's 137 supply. Oh, boy. Suddenly, I'm really worried about Rush here. Although, you know, free Dragoons, walking into tank fire, walking into spider mine shots, never exactly what you want. Just trying to see what's going on, I guess. Is this base adequately defended? The answer is yes, Tyson, it is. Excellent work. Again, Vulture's not good against buildings. Look how little damage each one of these shots is doing. It's like, what, 3 damage a shot? But there's so many of them, and they shoot quickly enough, kind of adds up. We're good. EMP coming in here from Rush. Or excellent, excellent upgrade. To be using against Protoss. Removing all of their shields and all of their energy. It's like a crazy, crazy good spell. Of course, you don't want to get stasis by the Arbiter, which is making an Arbiter and not researching recall or anything else. So, or stasis. We'll keep an eye on that. On the production tab. One of the problems with my 1440p monitor is that it's physically bigger, and so there's more for my eyes to have to scroll over to check different things. Wah. First world problems. I know. I get it. Fourth base, happily established here for Tyson. Bottom right-hand corner. And kind of trying to set up for a fourth base here is this SCV. In the general area. Anyway, Spider-Mine seeding it so that Zealot run-bys aren't just... It can't just run in there instantly and take it down. Oh, we're getting Storm. So Tyson's like, as long as we have a Templar Archives, we might as well get Psionic Storm. It's a pretty good spell. Can be pretty good against tanks and Goliaths. And Vultures if they hold still long enough, but they generally don't like to do that. Ah, see, the Reaver was like, you're just going to leave it there? Just sneak it. It's tucked into a corner here, Mr. Reaver. I guess maybe anyone that tries to throw up a base, it's going to get sniped by a Scarab. Instantly. Rush has gone from about 130 supply to 190 supply in approximately 2 minutes. So he's a scary dude, man. He's a real scary dude. Zealot's wandering into this third base, not accomplishing anything whatsoever. This Reaver's going to get shots off on this command center as well. Look at that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. This Reaver, though. Okay, this is happening at the same time, though. Nah, pay attention to both things at once, Falcon. You got this. Huge engagement in the middle. I think there are too many siege tanks for the Protoss to get through. Dude, this Reaver is... Make more Scarabs. There we go. And just in time for the SCVs to get out of there. Dude, this Reaver has done so much damage to Russia's economy. Eventually does get wiped out, yes. But man, good work, Mr. Reaver. Putting in all the damage for Sir Protoss Tyson here. Okay, so third base was denied for a little bit because of this little cute Reaver placement. Real nice. Both players down about 50 supply after that engagement. So both players took a lot of damage, but obviously there wasn't enough for Tyson to push through and win. What's funny about PvT is both races complain about this matchup a lot. Terran players hate Protoss. Protoss players hate Terran. And I think that's a sign of maybe a good matchup. If both races have something that the other race hates, then maybe it's fairly balanced. Is that a fair thing to say? Tyson's at 184 supply to 148, but this tank count with 2-2 on these siege tanks is problematic. We might be getting to that point in the game where Protoss just sacks a base because they can't do anything about it. Like, they literally cannot save this base. So they're just like, whatever. We've seen so many games where Protoss just sack their main base because they can't save it, you know? Coming in, maybe trying to save it now? Coming in from both directions here, north and south. Defensive Matrix being tossed up on one of those siege tanks. Zealots getting picked apart by the vultures just a little bit. Southern side going pretty well. All right, this is actually clearing out all the siege tanks on this low ground that were actually directly firing on the third base, keeping that alive, and then forcing Rush to bring in more reinforcements to finish that off. And when I say the siege tank is dead, I mean, there we go, the siege tank is actually dead. But then Rush obviously has been macroing his face off. He's at 137 supplies, taking a lot of damage, but brings additional tanks to replace the ones that died. But guess what? Tyson has another army ready to jump in here. This is why you have the spider mines, is because the zealots need to be dealt with, and they are not dealt with. Enough of them get on top of these tanks to finish them off. Siege tank does go down with 4 kills. Storm getting tossed down everywhere. Arbiter in the mix. And he does hold on to his third base. What a boss hold from Tyson. That was not easy. I can tell you right now, that was not an easy thing to do. He manages to macro back home while microing at these front lines. Deals with a tank line on his, just right up shooting at his third base twice in a row, and successfully holds Rush off for the time being. 146 to 133 total supply. Transitioning into carriers at all. No. The production tab says no. Still making Zealots and Dragoons. I don't see any extra Stargates in production, and that's fine. I'm not saying he should go into carriers. I'm just saying it's an option for him. Transitioning whenever you want. Really is Protoss. You can rush carriers. You can get them after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30 minutes. You can start making carriers. Seen it all. Seen it all in Brood War, man. It's a long time this game has been going on. Man, 159 to 155 total supply. This is even Steven. Zealot's going to get how many kills before it dies? The answer is 0. Wait, hold on. Okay, 0. I thought maybe because the other vultures weren't trying to kill him, he would survive, but nope. Not even a little bit. Rush hasn't expanded in some time, but he is 4 base to 4 base, which is not great here for Tyson. Pulling back. Again, the vulture responsibility here is to buffer for the zealots and kill them if possible. Keep them away from the siege tanks and let the siege tanks do their deadly, terrible work with their +3 attack. +3, +2 on the armor is also done for Tyson. He's not been slouching on them upgrades either. And just a small counterattack coming in. Dealing with spider mines, it's going to slow you down more than anything else. Look at this. Another base from Rush being taken. I don't think Tyson is out expanding Rush enough to win this game, but I love this counterattack into the third. Immediate evacuation, recognizing he doesn't have enough to defend the third base, but the good news, again, is that he has a 5th base already rolling. So losing a base just puts him basically 1 base down against the Protoss, which is fine, because this is happening right now. The siege tanks, oh my gosh, this siege tank rollout. Rolling out! They're going to take down the 3rd base. They could maybe get the 4th if they head down south a little bit. I love this spread on these tanks, too. Dude, stops all the mining at the natural base. This is a tough game for both these players. Stasis getting tossed down on 4 of the siege tanks. That helps a lot. Oh, 2 more. A bunch more stasis go down here. And the siege tanks that are closest to the Nexus are considered the problematic ones. 10 kills on that siege tank is pretty darn good. Defensive Matrix is up. Trying to keep his own Protoss unit, or Terran units alive a little bit there. Coming in from the top side, too. And Rush, I think, might have done this, right? He's up 149 to 126 supply. He is, that natural base goes down. He's going to wreck Tyson's main base. He's trying to rebuild his main base production down in this bottom right-hand corner. Again, we talked about this. It is definitely a problem and something Terran or Protoss players have to do. Man, down to 40 probes, and it's going to fall even more precipitously there. Oh, 34 probes remaining for Tyson is not good. He's kind of falling apart here. Again, he was preparing for losing the natural base. The bigger problem is that everything coming out of the main base is just getting tanked to death. 1 tank dies and 6 or 7 zealots go down. That is a trade Rush will make any day of the week. Although, Tyson does seem to be winning this engagement. All right. This is going pretty well here. Siege tank's down. Rush going to lose his 5th base, and he's lost... Okay, his 3rd base is back technically. But, oh, coming back a little bit. Rush peeling some of his units from the front. back home to defend against the Protoss invasion. Ow, ow, ow. Goodness gracious me. These 2 Dragoons are doing as well as they can. But that's going to be the end of these guys. He's got 5 kills to his name. Oh, he's going to die to an SCV. No! Got 6 kills now. Excellent. Much, much excellence. And Tyson leaves the game, recognizing he can't do anything about this army at his front. He couldn't take down this base. The 3rd base is rolling, and Rush is your winner there in 25 minutes and 25 seconds. It's a bit of an abrupt ending, I gotta say. That was, it wasn't like there was a huge engagement and then suddenly it was over. Although maybe there was and I totally missed it. That is something I'm known to do from time to time. But, yeah, no. I guess this? No, we saw this, right? He comes in here, he takes down this army. He gets a couple Dragoons up there too. But yeah, the 3rd base of the Protoss dies. And then the main base, like, all of this production is just utterly worthless. Although, I don't know, only not many tanks left there, honestly. You could just make a... He's doing that. He's making 9 Zealots. I think 9 Zealots can take this down, honestly. I do. Maybe it's a premature GG. He's like, I didn't succeed in my mission of taking down Russia's 5th base. It is 130 to 90 supply. Alright, so I understand he is super down here. But he's got 3 bases mining. He's only at 35 probes. That is a problem as well. And I think, honestly, I think this swell of Zealots... Hang on, can we see this? Maybe he was hoping he'd be able to, and then when he failed breaking this, that's when he GG'd? Yeah, that was it. Okay. So he failed to break these tanks. And then decided that was it. So tapped right on out. Really fantastic game from Rush. Like, ASL champion indeed. He held off that early aggression from Tyson like an absolute boss. Lost a ton of stuff, but did not give up. And then went on the aggression, expanded really well too. And at the end of the day, just had more stuff, man. And that is kind of what StarCraft comes down to sometimes. 183,000 points for Rush, 171 for Tyson. Ended up producing 468 to 323 units. More Terran units produced. Killed more Protoss units and lost about the same, which is... That tracks for what we saw there. 22 Protoss buildings raised, only 8 Terran buildings raised. Is a big deal too. And then just, again, outmined, outspent... But you almost need to outspend by more than 11,000 or 9,000 resources, right? In the games that we've seen Protoss beat Terran, they're on 5, 6, 7, 8 bases. They're outspending the Terran player by 15, 20,000 resources instead of just 9. I think that is absolutely key. You have to do it. Whew. All right, excellent stuff. So that's going to be it for me today for another Patreon cast. Again, patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, you can find me at Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, greetings to the future. Hope you're staying healthy and well. And above all, until next time, please take care of yourself. Goodbye.